Hello, good day to you. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining me. The focus for this session is double standards. Have you ever met people who, when you treat them in the same way they treat you, they get offended? Weird, isn't it? Yeah. Double standard exists when an action, a moral standard is considered appropriate and praiseworthy for one group, but is considered wrong, deplorable, and not welcome for another group. When we look at the account in John chapter 8, when the Pharisees, the scribes, brought a woman caught in adultery to Jesus, they told him that the law of Moses had commanded them to stone such a person to death. And they wanted to know what Jesus thought about it. Jesus simply stooped and wrote on the ground with his finger, as if he did not hear them. As those people continued to hound him to give them a reply, he said, He who is without sin should cast the first stone at her. Raising himself up, he saw that only the woman was still standing there, and he asked her for the whereabouts of her accusers, to which she replied that there was no one there. In verse 8, then Jesus said to her, Neither do I condemn you. Go, and from now on, do not sin anymore. This action of Jesus showed the hypocrisy of double standards. A man was also involved in the woman's sin, but she was the only one who was recommended for punishment by those people. Even so, in today's world, in most parts of the world, women are still being dealt with by such harsh double standards. I'm not focusing on women right now. Double standards do not only affect women, they affect everybody. People use their words, actions, beliefs, status, behaviours, policies, ideas to promote favor for some and disfavor other people. However double standard is presented, the victims always end up wounded. It is a psychological game which only toxic individuals enjoy playing to keep certain class or group of people oppressed, deprived, endangered, and deaf on the long run. Do you expect someone to be okay with something when you did it, but you are not okay if another person does that? That is not a good thing to do, my friend. As people of God, we are meant to be the same, privately, publicly, or personally. Let us remember who is with us all the time. God sees, knows. Double standard is not right. It is grossly unfair, unkind, unjust, unloving. It is divisive, inhuman. To judge others on standards that you're unwilling or unable to uphold yourself, that's not a great way to conduct ourselves as children of God. When there is double standards, people become lost without direction. This is something which I actually see sometimes in my line of work, how a few colleagues display double standards in their treatments of clients. It's unpleasant, but sometimes we just have to be professional and stay out of it because it's not our business, unless something unprofessional and really bad occurs. It breaks my heart to know that human beings still engage in this behavior. One thing I have learned is that people of double standards never experience real happiness. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 32 tells us to forgive one another as quickly and thoroughly as God in Christ forgave us. There will be no double standard. It's the same treatment for everyone. Double standards only promote hierarchy, division, bitterness, oppression, wickedness, sorrow, pains, and even death. Nations, communities, peoples have been destroyed because of this. My dear friends and family, let us walk, talk, and deal with integrity. Extend the same treatment to all without prejudice. Forgive quickly and completely as God in Christ Jesus has forgiven us. Just like Jesus did. He didn't condemn the woman. There was no double standard like the Pharisees and all did. The man was nowhere to be found. He was okay, sowing his wild oats, while the woman had to pay. If you want to live a life of complete happiness, do away with double standard, my friend. It pays nobody. I thank you for joining me today. Until I come your way again, it's goodbye for now. God bless you as you do not engage in double standard.